Hey y'all, welcome to the very first episode of Just One Question. So, Jamie, our first question is, in your experience with your clients, why aren't people selling more and what would happen if they did?
I think they try to come up with too much of a plan. They want to plan it all the way out to sale of company. I don't know. Like they're going so far, and really, you could be selling every day. You could be selling one thing. You could be selling like lots of pieces, and the thought is this like, how am I going to make this into this really big thing? And so much of the time, it's like, what can you do every day? That's like the small things that make like a really big difference.
Yeah. My answer looking at my clients is that people are late. You should not be selling when you need money. You should be selling as a habitual part of your business. So this is like the brushing your teeth of your business. Is do you have a daily, weekly habit of like following up with leads and asking them, like sales is just, hey, I have this thing. Are you interested in buying it? And if they say yes, you tell them about it and you have to have a way to take money. But it's that simple.
I'm always impressed in the way of like how much people get like stuck on all the optics of it when you just need that's all you need. Like a way to take money and like telling people that that's what you're doing. Like we build websites and we do and like that stuff is like great. It's like great in the like you can do it while you're doing it. Like and that nothing is like really permanent. I think that it's always this idea of like once I have this done, then I'll be able to do this. And what ends up happening is like once you start selling, there's always a point, or once you are selling at a consistent basis, you always have to change it. Like
Mhm.
that's maintenance, right? And so it's like this idea of like oh, I've got to put it at this very high level before I can like do anything. And there's also the like day to day, like, oh, this is going to take like a long time, right? So, but if you have five clients, right, that you are seeing on a regular basis that are giving you money, you can then sculpt the rest. If you have a product and you have one or two products that are just, you get to a point of, all right, then we're going to go to the next thing. I think a lot of people want to do everything all at once.
Yeah, and what they're talking about is infrastructure and marketing. It's not sales.
Agreed.
Yeah, the thing I would like everyone to start with is like make a list of people who've ever said they're interested or you've worked with before and ask them if they're interested in buying something else.
And it's amazing if because they also really want to help you. I think that that's the other piece is that like we have this idea of like, oh, I have to find new people to do this thing because my people wouldn't do this thing or something like that I can't ask twice or I can't continually share or like that it's always like this. And most of the time the people that know you, whether they know you from business, they know you personally, all of those things, like they want you to win. And
And
so they need what you have. So let them buy it.
yeah, and they're your best customer.
Yeah, and they're your best referrals. I think that the thing that's like totally overlooked so much of the time is like when you ask people, can you introduce me to X? They're like, yes, I will figure out who I know that is this avatar. If you give them very clear like parameters, like, hey, I'm looking for women that are between the ages of 40 and 50 that are going through, this specific thing in their lives that need this kind of help, they pull it up for you quickly.
Yeah, people want to help you. So there's two things that I want to say here. The first is like start asking people. And the second is like don't overcomplicate it. Build it as you go. Don't build it first because you might be wrong.
The
That's a
amount of times you have to change, you have to evolve your business, like, and that is not, you didn't do anything wrong. That's just how it works.
the first time I ever sold coaching. I put a post on Facebook and I was like, hey, I am offering coaching to help people do what I did. And I was like, I'm celebrating 15 years in business. I'm going to start coaching. I've gotten my coaching certificates. If you're interested, reply below. People said yes. And then I manually scheduled calls with them. And then I offered at some awfully low rate coaching, but that was fine. And
Yeah,
it was fun.
listen, you got to try it to see if you're going from owning a physical location to I'm going to coach humans. Those are two very different things. Do you like coaching humans? Like,
Right.
that is
Let's
a
try
very
it.
different thing than just being like, I'm having a conversation about business is different than like, I am invested in your growth, right? You have to be able to see that difference of, and that all of it's just an experiment, right? Like a lot of times people come out of corporate, out of another business, and they're like, okay, I'm going to build this thing. Most people are building something because they had the need and they wanted to create it, right? And
Yeah.
so they're building this thing and they're like, okay, I needed this then. So now I want to give this to those people. And you have to like the number of clients I've had that have started out with like, this is my idea. And then they're like, actually, that was the most painful part of my life. I don't actually want to do that. I want to do this. And it always evolves. It changes just a little bit where you're like, oh, okay, there's always a shift and that the knowledge you have is always growing.
Correct. And I'm going to say something that is like very on brand for me, which is like slightly sharp, but I also think can help people. You shouldn't sell the thing that you need. You should sell the thing that you're good at.
Agreed.
Because I see a lot of people trying to heal themselves by selling, and it's how you hurt other people.
Agreed.
And not everybody is made to be a coach or a consultant.
No, no, I mean,
Also,
not everybody likes it.
and I want to tell you something. If you're not good at putting your feelings aside, don't become a coach. Like somebody said to me, what if you don't like your client? And I was like, my job is not to like them. My job is to help them. So there's people who really get on my nerves and I just have to put it aside. But the other thing I want to say is it's much easier to sell a product than a service. So even if you have a service, put it in a box. Like you get 4 containers, you get a plan, you get whatever. Anywho, that was the small aside.
Well, and I think that it's good for you to recognize like what the box, like even if it's just a ethereal box, right? Like when I
Right.
coach you, you get X, X, that, that, and that's it. Like those are the boundaries of it, as opposed to like a loose and open thing. I think a lot of the times when people have a hard time selling, they don't know what they're selling.
I am selling you 4 sessions for this much money at this time. You get this many check-ins with me. Da 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 da. So let's talk about like common objections, like what we're seeing objections to that people give us to selling and talk through them. And then I want to talk about best ways to sell. So this is what we have to get over and this is what we have to do.
Okay.
I am currently in the middle of a sales sprint, which is where I give people actions every day to help them sell. I did a free one and then I did a paid one. Jamie, I am shocked at how deep the avoidance of sales is.
It's shocking.
It's and the thing we have to tell people
And
is
it's
not gonna work.
so easily like it you can hear it so fast in the language that the person is using.
Give me an
Like you'll be like you need to like during a sales sprint, right? You'll be like you need to reach out to 30 people a day, right? And people will be like I don't know 30 people. You're like, yes, you do. Like, it's like, I don't know 30 people. I don't know 30 people that would. I don't, whatever. And it's like, okay, your job isn't to tell me like why you can't. Your job is to find 30 people. I don't care if you walk down the street and find those 30 people. Go find 30 people. But the idea is like the like as soon as you say the thing that the immediate response is all the reasons why they can't do it and it's like, okay, how many people are you trying to sell to, right? If you're trying to have 5 retainer client, which is probably a slightly higher ticket item, right?
Right.
You are going to have to pitch said thing in physical form on Zoom, on whatever, to at least double that. So that's 10.
Athlete.
And those 10 have to be like probably pre-qualified that they want that. So there's probably either a phone call or some kind of messaging that hits them that's probably at least double that. Like these are like really low numbers. I think it's really like triple or quadruple. So like you're basically at 100 just to get to like just the
And
starting
just to
whatever.
reach out to people, I'm gonna say 500. You need to, I don't think you should come to me and complain until you have touched 500 people. And this is how you do it. You have social media followers, you have people who've liked it, you have contacts that you've met, you have everybody in your phone, and you have everybody in your email. So you go into email and you open an email and you hit the letter A, and it'll give you everybody who starts with A, then B. And you reach out to them, and you're not necessarily selling to everybody, but I can say to Aunt Nancy, hey, Aunt Nancy, I know you worked in corporate. I'm offering a package on how to use AI. If you know anybody who would like it, I can do it. And I think you could get sales if you touched 500 to 1,000 people to get 5.
Easily. And that it's not that deep, right? Like when Aunt Nancy is not sitting there being like, oh, I can't believe my niece Lisa sent me an email. How rude of her. She's like, oh, I've never understood what Lisa does. Great. Like if you can shift your mindset on the idea that people want to help you, like so much of the time, if you can just be like, I am sending whatever I'm sending out there to be like, everybody I'm sending this to wants to help me. If they don't want to help me, they won't help me. Great.
Or maybe they're busy. Here's the other thing, Jamie, is that I'm an excellent salesperson and I'm also very experienced in what I do. And I would say my close rate is around 30%. But that 30%, the sales cycle can take up to a year and a half.
Totally.
So if I need 5 people now, I would go backwards. I would say I needed to touch probably 400, and I have a huge social media presence. I have more than what most people are starting with, only because of time. You can also do this, but you need to put yourself out there. And so that's number one objection. So the main thing that I hear is like, oh, it's icky, or like, I don't want to bother people, or this. And I'm like, you have just said something that I always say this: people get a magazine in the mail every month and they choose to read it or not. And it's called Convenient Theories for You Monthly. It is just the shit you can say so you don't have to do the thing you will do to succeed.
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, how convenient for you. Like, it's not salesy to ask someone for help. And also, like, what's wrong with salesy?
If you don't like you can identify really clearly the salesy stuff you don't like, then don't do that. Like if it was the year in 1984 and you had to go to the library and only read the 7 books on sales to
Mhm.
figure out how to sell, and that the only way you could figure out how to be a better seller is to work for some like vacuum cleaner company where you had to go door to door to sell a vacuum cleaner, right? I don't know if they sold vacuum cleaners in 1984 like that, but maybe in 1954, right? And this idea of like that was the only way to sell. Now we have the entire internet, all of podcasting, every book you could ever imagine can show up at your door in 24 hours. If you listen to them on Audible, it's in 4 seconds. Like the ability to gather information, even if you're just like, I like the way Lisa sells, I'm going to go and read every one of the emails that she sends. I'm going to go back and watch every single like TikTok, Instagram, whatever that she puts out. I'm going to find every random podcast she's on. I'm just going to learn. You can do all of it for free. We sit here in a time when like gathering information is literally the easiest piece. If you're like, I'm following 12 people that I hate the way they sell, then stop following them and follow people you like. Then you can see, I like the Gary Vee approach of like jab, 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 right hook. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I like giving more than I like the actual hard sell. Okay. Oh, but I would like to actually sell more than that because he does something totally different. Okay. I think I need it a little bit more direct. You just start narrowing it down. Like the idea that like, oh, all sales falls under the same category as like the guy that was like selling you a like how to slap the thing on the boat and stop a leak in, the year 2000 is not sales.
I agree. So you took us very well into what to do. So the first thing you said is like, to go back to Tony Robbins, success leaves clues. So find people who do it well and do what they are doing. We don't copy content, but you can copy structure. Literally, sign up for my email list. It's abundant. Take some of my sales emails and rewrite them for what you do.
I stole I was like, how does Lisa onboard? And I was like, I didn't steal the emails, but I was like, I like the way she as soon as you sign up for your list, there's a obvious process. I read the thing. I was like, I like it.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I took this person's. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, I like these. Like, then you start to be like, okay, hey, what's my style of this? Right? Like, what's the direction that I want it to go? And those pieces are really interesting because you start to see what you like and what you don't like. Whose do you skip over? Why do you skip over it? Sometimes it's easier to know what you don't like.
Here's what I would do. 2 weeks, 10 days, you get the weekends off, 30 people a day.
Agreed.
2 weeks after that, follow up, because you're going to get a ton of follow up and 10 people a day. 90 days later, not that month, but 90 days later, you will have significant sales.
Agreed.
It's that easy. You need to fund yourself for the next 90 days because it might not happen this month. Every time I've ever done this, though, I've ended up with some sales immediately because people are like, oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
But literally 10 days, I'm only talking about 20 days here. 10 days, 30, 10 days, 10 plus the follow-up.
That's like the level of doability that is like, and the thing that I think is so interesting is when you start to find the excuses, right?
Yeah.
Like you and I are not the first person to say this. Every coach I've ever talked to has said these words, right? And the reason that a lot of coaches use these same exact exercises is because they work, right? And it's like, all right, what are the excuses that you are coming up with? And how do you like I'm just gonna do it anyway, right? Like, I don't know, fuck your mood, man. Just like,
Yeah,
do the
also
thing.
30 a day should not take you that long. You can sit down with your phone and while you're waiting to pick up your kid or getting a coffee, do 5. I have to say I did this. I went through everybody I knew in Asheville after the hurricane and I was just like, hey, I hope you're doing well. I never said sell to me. And then that led to me thinking about other people. I have since then, from that effort I did this month, made $55,000. Is it worth $55,000? So let's each pick a thing and then we both say how we would sell it. So you
Okay.
tell me anything because we're like focusing a lot on service, but anything you want. What would I do?
What would you sell?
Like a bowl, a necklace, a service, a doctor's.
Let's go with a necklace. I don't think I've
Okay.
ever heard you sell products though.
So if I had necklaces that I was trying to sell, and I had all my infrastructure, I had my like, I'm not on Amazon because that's a whole different strategy, but I have my online store and stuff. This is what I would do. I was all set up. So for the first week, I would reach out, I would split it. I would do just emailing like people, and I would do individual reach outs if I was still pretty small. And I'd be like, we have these necklaces. I thought it would look great on you. I have a discount code. So anytime with a product, the lead, the first purchase is a discount. And then when they bought the necklace, I would bundle like, hey, these earrings go with the necklace. And then the other half, I would reach out to influencers and I'd be like, I'm gonna mail you a necklace. And in exchange, I want you to do 5 posts. And I would split that half like high reach. Like I want Kira Sedgwick. That was really random. That just came out of my head to wear it. And then the other half, like people regionally. And then I would beat feet on the concrete and I would go to boutiques and try to wholesale them because wholesale is even easier. And then I would write a wholesale email about how my necklaces sell in shops along with signing up for fair.com. And I would send 30 wholesale emails a day.
I like it. What am I selling? Okay, we're doing this for 30 days or for
Yeah, let's say 30 days. Mine was a
Okay.
little loose. So why don't you do necklace and then I'll pick a different one.
So if I had necklaces and infrastructure, I would probably go with a Pinterest strategy leading into with the same kind of like email list, like get the discount code to buy the thing, whatever, sell it that way. I would then take anything from I would do like a big like cart. Like if you signed up for this, you're going to get the emails that are like really pushing the
Yeah.
like how about this? How about this? And then I would use I would use the like back end side of Instagram and TikTok probably to go after the like, let's see it again and again and again and again, like geo-targeting. I would try to like set all of that up automated, like quickly and like so that it's not taking up a lot of my time. I would also use the influencers. I think that the influencers are just the way to go. And it's a pretty low, I mean, and I guess it's on how much is your necklacing costing, but, and I would definitely start a whatnot strategy. Like I would do some live selling. I think the live selling is like what's going to be next. I think it's super cool. I think it's really interesting on people can gain your personality. You can also clip it and then use it on all the other sites. So like I would run 2 cameras on the live sell just so you can immediately be like clipping and whatever to send people over to whatnot. Like I would probably go live on Instagram and then have whatnot going at the same time. So they have to come to whatnot to get on. That'd be my plan.
Whatnot is so interesting. The last thing I would do is like also ask some of the boutiques if you can do a trunk sale
Mm-hmm.
event. buy some champers or some non-alcoholic, have a little mocktail action and have a little yoga teach or something. I'm making up like a whatever your vibe is, do a trunk sale in a place that already has customers.
Yes.
Okay. I was going to pick yoga classes, but that's deeply unfair because I sold it for a long time. Um, let's do service. You're trying
Okay.
to sell, here, we both do this. You're trying to sell a membership, but it's about health, like women's
Oh.
health monthly membership subscription. What would you do?
I would do first, I would do reach out to literally every human I knew, every female human I knew. I'd probably reach out to the men too. Hey, do you have women in your life that are like X, Y, and Z? I feel like health, you can hit the pain points really easily. I would enroll them in some, I would do a free trial. Depends on where I was hosting. I would probably host on Mighty Networks because that's where I host. I'd be like, hey, come into my Mighty Networks. In there, I would already have a like library of stuff that they could do, and I would make sure that it was like going out, like new stuff is hitting them every day, so they're like, oh, there's lots of information. Women love information. And then I would reach out to, I would do like, I would try to build the email list. I might use Pinterest on this one. People search a lot of stuff on Pinterest. And so I would do a Pinterest into email to get them to join the free thing, right? To then, do the membership and then just email, email, email. That'd be my plan.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. A couple other things I would do there or ideas is one is that you do it like a launch, even though it's evergreen, meaning
Yeah.
people can all the time. Evergreen sales, people don't talk about this. It's really hard because people can always put it off. You and I both know that. So I would do, and then I would plan like quarterly launches, even though it's a false launch, because people could buy anytime, but they get to be in like a cohort.
Hmm.
I would do a partnership with people with similar audiences to me. Like, hey, can I come to your yoga studio? Can I come to your yoga membership? And I will teach my free thing. And then I will encourage everybody to sign up for my free thing. And then I will put them in a follow-up drip sequence so they're hearing about all that I do. You can't just offer it once, even if it's free. You have to sell free like it's paid. So I'm sending follow-up emails like it's not easier. And then I'm helping them sign up. And then I would host, in the beginning, I would host like a weekly free seminar and just push people into that membership. Also, pro tip, memberships. I learned this from Alex Hormozy. Make them quarterly, and the quarterly is billed every 12 weeks.
The payments, you're saying quarterly.
Because attrition is way lower with quarterly.
Once you told me that, I am very seriously considering it because it
I
seems like
did
a
it.
much better way to do it.
I did it and we just lost two people from a pretty large group, and we were having tons of people monthly because I think people just get like it's a different way of thinking. It's also a larger financial commitment, so I like people to take it a little more seriously. Awesome. Jamie, I think this is the last question. How do people get over themselves? Because the biggest issue is like nothing we're saying is hard. All of the information is on the internet. Literally, like if you follow Alex Hormoza, you don't have to listen to us. He tells you how to do
No,
it. Read those two books. He's about to put out a third one, but people won't do it.
I
What do
think
we do
the
with that?
I think you have to break it down into smaller steps for yourself and give yourself a little bit of grace that we're all like everybody feels the same way, right? Like sometimes it's super easy, right? Like to go and get a bunch of no's is like, I don't know, it doesn't bother me that much. But if I have to like sell something super personal that I really, really care about, sometimes it feels harder, right? Like know where you have the hard time and break those steps down into smaller things, right? Like I know for me, the writing part of any of these sequences makes it hard, right? It's the writing the email, writing the text message, writing the like email sequence, right? I know that part takes me a long time. If I get a person in front of me, I can sell to the, whatever, that doesn't bother me at all. But it's the like I hate getting emails. I hate being sold to. Like I don't like that stuff. So then I'm like, well, I don't want to do it to other people. So then I'm like, okay, I know that it takes me longer to do that, but I'm like, okay, I have to come up with a thing, and therefore I have to break it down into way smaller steps. It's not the big, like, you're gonna write a like 10 things equal email sequence. It's like, okay, you're doing this to get them onto a call so that they talk to you so that you can provide the benefits and you can see if they're the right fit for a program, right? Like, if I can convince myself that I'm not just selling to the masses and like randomly giving people things they don't want, then I can do it. But I know what holds me back, right? So I'm like, okay, the things that hold me back, I know are going to take more time. And a lot of times it's like literally just like set a timer. Just do the thing. Just do the thing. Get over your stupid self.
This is what I think is I think you really need to face the fact that it's not going to work without it. I know people who are very good at what they do, like very, very good, and they have mediocre businesses because they're bad salespeople.
Yeah.
Or they don't have any sort of sales strategy. So like you need to face that and be like, do I actually want to be doing this? It requires doing this. Selling. Like there's no business without a sale. There's not. There is no
There's
business
not.
without a sale. So like a sale actually just means the transaction. There's no business. So the instead of trying to mentally get over it by doing the thing. Just do it. It's going to be really uncomfortable. You said something that made me have a fun thing that would do with people is like set a no goal. If you get
Mm-hmm.
people to say no to you, you will sell something.
I had to do a no goal one time. I was like in like a personal development thing and I lived in New York City and then you had to go get 20 no's. You had to get 20 no's and for every no, every yes that you got, you had to get two more no's. And I was like a 20 something year old like cute personal trainer wandering around the city asking people to buy me coffee and like people just kept saying yes and I was getting up to 40, 50, 60 no's and I was like how the hell am I? And I had to do them in a day. Like there was no like and I was like, shit. So then I had to start asking for bigger and bigger things that could just be so ridiculous. And the gamification of that really made it like one, people are trying to do good things in the world. Two, like you are in this space of like, all right, like I would never ask someone, like I wouldn't walk into a deli and be like, "Hey, will you buy me a sandwich?" Like, and you come at it and when you're like hoping for the no because you're like, dude, two more. If I have to go get two more of these, like this day is just getting real long, right? So you go into it totally light. You're like, yes, 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 please say no, please say no.
Yep.
And the and like the hardest looking dude will be like, yeah, sure. What do you want? And you're like, God damn. Okay.
And if you died. Yes.
Just ask. And so much time, like let the universe surprise you. Right? Like if you're looking for the nose, it's like there's nothing better than when people leave my email list because they no longer would like to hear from me. Great. Amazing. Perfect. I'm glad that you decided to clear your inbox. That's good. Awesome. Like I don't want to sell to people that don't want to that are not interested. It makes it so much easier.
Just and like if you can't do it, go get a job is my honest answer.
This is not for everyone. I think that that's the like people have this idea of like I'm going to leave the corporate, I'm going to leave the like security of job and there's a lot of pieces in that we think I'm just going to go do this. But if you are an entrepreneur selling anything like at all on your own, you have to know so many different parts that if you worked for someone else you would never have to know. If you are a graphic designer and you work for a company and you are making, you have a job and that job is to make you're the best at this. As
Mm.
soon as you open your own practice, as soon as you open your own studio, you now are in charge of the sales. You're in charge of the marketing. You're in charge of the like technology. You're in charge of all of the different parts. And that stuff takes an enormous amount of time. And if you're really not interested in that, like there are really great companies that want to hire you. That's great. Like let it like entrepreneurship is not easy. It's not it's not something that is like, oh, it's the way out. It's the way in into something that is difficult. And the thing is that like some people love it. Like that's what lights them up is all the different parts and moving around the business and seeing how it works. If that's not you, like that's not defeat. Go
Also,
put
like
yourself where you're good.
there's a romanticization. I can't
Hmm.
romanticizing of entrepreneurship. It's hard. It's not the end game and it's not the only way to build wealth. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-mm.
buy apartments, do invest in real estate. So just think that that's worth selling about, but also like you're gonna, if you decide you really want to do it, learn how to sell because you're gonna feel better about yourself knowing you can do it.
Also, if you have more sales, you have more money, which means you have more leverage on the stuff you don't want to do.
Yeah, like you can hire a salesperson, but you need the money.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. What's your final thought about sales?
You have to shift your mindset on the way you feel about it. If you hate sales, you're never going to be good at it.
Mine is what I said at the beginning. If you need money, you're too late.
Yeah, agreed.
Go team.